I'm trying to tell you, here we go. We had to switch it up. Here we go live. We are live back on Facebook.
We sorry. We had technical difficulties.
We had some technical difficulties. I can't even say the word. Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties.
But you know something? Here we are. People to people with Rodney Grimes here. I got my co-host today is Miss Demetria from The Good Fight. We've been working on some other areas in the studio. Believe it or not though, I'm excited. I'm gonna tell you why. Because even with us doing that, we was having some real powerful conversations.
And we're going to bring it back up.
We're going to bring it back up.
Let's bring it as much as we can. We're about to bring it back up, okay?
Yeah. So actually, what's so amazing is that right when you feel like you're struggling and things falling apart is when you know that it's going to get better.
Yeah, and that getting better starts with yourself. Acknowledge, what do I say? Acknowledging your truths.
Right.
Confronting your truths. And then coping with your truths. That's where the positive comes in. Because if people come and they only talk about the negative about you, then they don't know you no more. Because that was the old you. When you've changed and you're healing and you're going through that healing process, it's a new you. You're doing positive things. So those are people you'll start separating from.
Yeah.
Venturing away. And it is okay to cut people off during your healing process. Let me tell you something. Because as you know, we both have been through some traumas. And we were talking about Twitch.
Right. So before we even go even further, because we had to switch up the production part of things, right? Mm-hmm. So when we are addressing, we got to address right there, directly in front of us. The other thing is, did we disconnect the other program from?
Yes, we ended that program.
Okay, cool.
We good to go.
We good, because I mean, look, I keep it real. And we're in the process of doing things, until we get our full staff together. We got to make it work.
We coming for you 2023. If you ready to heal, because what we're talking about is thinking into 2023, and thinking into 2023 should start with healing, so that you can fully love yourself, and you putting yourself first. And you know that you come first, because when you start putting people before you, then you're not loving yourself. You're loving others first. And love starts with yourself. And when you love yourself, you're able to love everything around you. Then you can identify true love. You know what love is about, because I didn't know what love was about. And like I told you, I just found out what peace was for the first time in my life. And this is the first time in my life that I have ever loved myself. And that's because I'm accepting all my truths, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
And I'm sharing them to help other people.
Well, so let me tell y'all, as you move forward, part of the struggle in life is not everything is going to go the way you want it.
Absolutely not.
And that's a prime example of what was just happening. We just started, we put together a new program. So we was trying to see if it was going to work, so we went live. And come to find out nobody could hear us. So we had to regroup. Okay, we doing that. Let me tell you something. Going into 2023, I'm telling you, you're going to watch Demetria's, a.k.a. Cookie.
You call me Demetrius? It's Demetria.
Demetria. Correction. Demetria.
That's the boy. I ain't no man.
Demetria. I call her Cookie, so very seldom
call
I
me
use
Cookie, too.
Yeah. But I just love where we are and what we've been doing and what we've been talking about and how we started out. So we started out, everything was pumped up. We was over here having a good time talking about everything. And what I'm loving is what you've been bringing to the table. Again, you're bringing positive. Now, I'm showing you what you just did just now. Soon as we found out that they couldn't hear us, you didn't panic.
No, you're not supposed to panic.
You didn't panic. what you did is we went over to start doing the adjustments. We regrouped.
Mm-hmm. It's about patience in life, and I never really had a lot of patience in life until I went through some traumas when I almost lost my life, and that's when I began to learn patience and not to rush and to take my time. You're not going to make the situation no better panicking. When you're panicking, you start to move and you start to do a lot. You may mess up even more.
And it's almost like sometimes they say, well, you know what? You just got to take a deep breath so that you can sit back and really analyze what you're doing and what's going on around you.
Absolutely, because we're humans and we make human mistakes. Things get overlooked. We have technical issues, technical difficulties, however you want to call it. What are you going to do about it? We just start over. And the beautiful folks that we had already online, hopefully a lot of them came back and followed. They patient with us because they want to hear what we have to say, and we're here to give it to you either way.
Well, the good thing is that what we're doing is we're bringing a new way of communicating. You have the good fight. We have
people to people.
People to people.
He done forgot his own name.
No, really, because what I've been thinking about, I was thinking about all the people that we have up here on the board.
And look at the good fight.
The good fight right there for sure. We got Man in the Mirror that's going to be here tomorrow at the studio, the People to People studio. We got Stat DC that does the food bank information and sharing and stuff in the community. We got intelligence office where we're located. We also have iHelp that's fighting situations in the Washington D.C. area. We got the Cunningham Intelligence Services. We also have New Glory Ministry. Man, that's
Rodney over here making me look bad because I only got three people right. I'm picky and choosy too, but I only got 3 people, and he one of them. He just done made me look real bad.
No, because all of these people are actually part of the process of People to People moving forward. We also have Nas Joda, my friend who was networking with me before. Kudos to Ehab and his ventures. I know he ain't stopped doing what he's doing. We still support him. We still send our love. We got what's that? Black in the City. Black in the City LLC. We also have and I'm trying to Pinky Slate is one of my networking people. But anyway. We got Third Sense Cuisine, PTP, which is also People to People, but it also is Photo Time and Production. We got Steph Marie, the Queen of Poetry. I'm just excited, and all of this.
And I got people behind me too, because I got some supporters.
Well, see, by us connecting, we supporting each other.
We're gonna do it.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna kill it. So, and I did earlier. I was trying to say thank you to the people that helped me with the purchase. The reason why I'm gonna do it again is because I want these people to know that I appreciated it. I talked about this earlier. This was one of the pieces that I had reached out for, asked for some help. People had donated. I purchased the piece. It had cost me close to.
They don't need to know that.
Oh, okay.
They don't need to know all that.
Okay. They don't need to know all that.
Listen, look at here. God bless Rodney because he has faith. And when you have faith and you're not afraid to ask for help, because a lot of us, our pride takes over, and I'm one of those folks. I don't ask anyone for anything. But the people that truly support you will come through. Some may not have it, but I mean, people support in all ways. It's not financially. It's sharing our posts, it's sharing our streams. All of those support, we love you, is equal across the board. But it's people that were able to connect and help you because of your beliefs here and your message that you're trying to get across to people. So God will bless you and sometimes patience comes with it.
Yeah.
It was something was taken from you, but guess what? God sent it right on back.
Amen.
I love that. And did you see how she stopped me right in my tracks? See, this is another thing. Let me tell you something about good people, man. When you got people that's in a fight to see you succeed, they don't have no problem with stepping in, to take a bullet for you, to take a blow for you, or just to say, yo, stop for a minute. Like she just said, Rodney, you ain't even got to go there. Just be thankful. You're moving forward. You got blessed. Let's keep it moving. I'm, again, so excited what you're doing in the community. I'm so excited what I am doing in the community. And I'm excited what you are doing in the community. Those out there that are trying to make a difference and make things a blessing. What we're doing is we're going into 2023 with a real strong positive attitude.
Yeah. We're taking the healing into 2023. So that's what Rodney and we are partnering together to bring the awareness on how to heal, because we are living testimonies that you go through things in childhoods because we have been through some serious traumas. We're not going to talk about it tonight, but we will have a movement where we're sharing life experiences. And Rodney's doing that with people to people, so with Rodney Grimes, and I'm doing that Unfiltered Unspoken. So please go subscribe to both of us on YouTube, because this is about sharing life experiences to help others that are going through similar situations. So who can we connect, who you may connect with that's sharing their life experience. You may be really going through that, you're afraid to come out, or for the men that are embarrassed, or for the women that are embarrassed, but you're holding all this hurt, you're in depression, you're feeling some kind of way. We're here to help you to overcome that by connecting you with real, live, actual life experiences. And we talked about when Rodney and I had this conversation. He's like, Maryland, Virginia, D.C., we love our DMV area, but this is bigger. This is global. Like, I've had people from UK and India. You've had quite a few countries that you have talked to. It is people that are experiencing traumas all over
the world. So
how do we spread the message? You know what? It's okay to heal from your hurt. We are testimonies that you can heal from your hurt. Like I said, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I have no shame in my game, because I'm going to tell you one thing. I used to impress. I used to try to fit in. I would entertain. I didn't have it, but I did it because I wanted to be loved, right? And I never really experienced the feeling of love until within this year, when I started to love myself, when I started to put myself first and not put everyone around me first before me. Because even in relationships, if someone allows a person to love them more than they love themselves,
that's what abuse
is.
It's self-abuse.
Yeah, it could turn into gaslighting, narcissistic behavior. It could be narcissistic behaviors, control, because that comes with it. My significant other, which I ain't got one, but a significant other, if I'm loving him more, he should bring me back down and say, no, babe, I need you to love. It's an equal yoke. We love each other equally, the same, not more than one another. So I think that was my biggest flaw. I was loving people more than I love myself.
So Cookie, let me tell you this then. So we talking about in a community, we got a problem with a lot of people not loving themselves. That's why they're out here committing suicide. That's why they're out here committing crimes and hurting people, robbing people.
But we've been in that position too. We've been in the suicidal position too.
So what do we do? We have to come to the realization of saying, be good to yourself first, so that you know how to be good to somebody else.
But this is an even step up. We're doing it even better. We're sharing that we have been in suicidal positions, and not just sharing that we have been in those suicidal positions. We have attempted suicide, and not only that we have attempted suicide, but how did we overcome that suicide? So if we can get the message out earlier for those that are feeling that way, they could look at us and say, I feel suicidal, I'm depressed, but I just watched Rodney and Demetria share their life experience to help me. Do you know how many how many preventive measurements we could take if we share those experiences with people?
Well, when it really comes down to it, though, see, again, we talking about society in a whole. We're talking about a lot of people who really don't understand why they feel suicidal.
And that's why we're going to help them understand it. You know, my suicidal experience was different than your suicidal experience. My attempt was different than your suicidal attempt. So we have two different life experiences to share, two different messages. I may connect with someone more so than they may connect with you because they went through what I went through.
Right.
But someone may connect with you and not me because your experience is what they went through. And that's the purpose of sharing those life experiences.
So that people can know that you're not alone. So, what I want to do is this. Take this opportunity to just reach out to anybody out there that's struggling. You're struggling under any circumstances, don't give up. Give in to prayer. Give in to calling for help. Call your different local hospitals, or call social services, or you got prevention places that are able to talk to you privately, and you don't. They, believe it or not, they're not going to put your business out there. What we do locally, you and I, and a few other people, we talk about ours publicly because we have already learned how to adjust, and we are making moves to make life better for ourselves. Me personally, the times that I did try to in my life, it was based on the fact that I was just so hurt over somebody else's actions and things that they did to me.
And that's my point.
And what I did is I didn't know how to cope with it at the time, and I thought hurting myself was going to make the pain go away. No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
You just going to hurt somebody else.
Yeah, that's all you're going to do is hurt somebody else. And now, when we get to these areas like this, we talking going into 2023. I don't want people to assume that all we talk about is
the hurt and the pain.
And the pain. No, we talking about changing and moving in the direction to make life better.
Exactly. But see, a lot of what people go through when they're put in suicidal positions is the pain that someone has inflicted on them.
And also, you always bring this up, and I wanted to make this understood. A lot of people look at people who have suicidal thoughts as being weak. Like they're not being weak. They're going through something that they may not understand. I had some trauma in my childhood life that caused me to not know how to deal with certain pain, and not know how to come out and tell somebody how bad I was hurting, and what it was doing to me.
Exactly.
For a long period, I didn't even know how to enjoy holidays. I didn't know how to be happy around holidays because of some things that took place in my childhood.
When you come from a dysfunctional family, you become a piece of that dysfunction,
right?
Until that you realize that you don't have to be dysfunctional just like them, because what they've done doesn't mean you can change. Just because they don't want to change don't mean that you can't change.
And that's what's important. Some people they want to stay stuck in there. But you don't have to. You can make a difference. You reach out to somebody and say, you know what, I need help. I want to make a difference. You know, we was talking and you and I, as we were sharing, again, it was all about what are we going to do to make things better.
Well, we're going to do a lot. We're going to do a lot to make it better. I want to touch something real quick, and then I want to jump into what we're going to do better. I'm going to tell you, I judge folks that committed suicide for a long time, and with me, I'm very transparent and honest about everything that I say out of my mouth and everything that I do. I judge people because I'm like, and the Bible says you can't be forgiven for this. First of all, not everyone believes in the Bible, and then those that do, you get so deep down caught into this depression piece of it, you're not thinking about the Bible. You're thinking about your hurt and your pain. But I would be like, why did they do that? Why would they do that? They know they can't be forgiven for that. But I'm going to tell you something. God put me in a position to make me feel the same way. And and I'm glad he did. I'm glad he did, and I'm also honored that I overcame that God intervened as well. But he made me understand and put me in a position where I almost took my life. So don't judge people, because you never know when you may be put in that position to feel the same way and to think like I used to think, and I know it's a lot of folks that think like me. But forgiving, you got to forgive everybody. And just because one person does something that you don't disagree with, you never know what the person next to you is going through or what they have been through, and how the traumas in their life have affected them and damaged them to the point where they don't even know who they are. And connecting with life experiences or identifying who you are is going to start that journey to help you to heal and overcome, because you have to accept the truths about your life. And then now going into 2023, how do we help you get there? Who has connected with me? Reach out to me. Reach out to Rodney. Talk to us. We're going to share off life experience. We're not therapists. We're not psychologists. We are not professional help. We only help through life experiences. But maybe we can help you with a life experience connection. If you have a question, don't hesitate to reach out to us, because we want to help you succeed to those goals, to healing. And that is the purpose, so that you can heal, so that you can enjoy life, so that you don't have to be shackled to your past. A lot of folks that have went through these it's not your fault, so stop blaming you. You're abusing yourself by putting blame on yourself that you shouldn't be blamed for. It's easier said than done in accepting, because I did a natural healing. I didn't go through professional help. And I don't recommend that. I recommend you talk to a therapist or a psychologist, because self-healing is very hard. And I lapsed so many times. Actually, up until a year ago, I lapsed. And then I reopened all my wounds. And I said, I'm going to share with the world. I'm going to do this again. But then identified, I went all the way back to my childhood and realized that my childhood was worse than me almost losing my life. Yeah. From a man that I love, and then we couldn't stand each other. But I'm going to take that, and I'm going to show people how you heal. Put stickies on the mirror. You're beautiful. I love you. I love myself.
You deserve to be happy.
You deserve to be happy. What's your favorite color? If your favorite color cheer you up, wear it every day. If that's going to build your confidence. I don't go by self-esteem, because I had a high self-esteem, but I was depressed. I was covering up my hurt with my self-esteem. Now I'm confident. I'm confident about everything that I do. When it come out of my mouth, I'm confident, and I'm going to stand up to it. That's my life. But healing. Accept your life. Acknowledge it. I'm telling you, it will be the best thing that has ever happened to you.
Well, again, for everybody who just tuning in, you're tuning in to People to People with Rodney Grimes. Co-hosting with me today is Miss Cookie, Demetria. I did say it correctly, right?
Yeah, you didn't call me Demetrius. I'm glad it was muted, because he called me a man, but we ain't
I ain't calling that. No, I didn't.
Yeah, he called me Demetrius.
No, because I know. Actually, one of my son's name is Demetrius.
See, you thought of me as your son.
No, yeah. It's just I got confused. No, I did not. I didn't. And don't be over there laughing, lady.
Zena, you know it's true. He done called me a man.
No, I didn't.
I think I'm a female. I don't have no Adam's apple or nothing.
Ain't nothing confusing. People see, they can see. They ain't blind. But going into 2023, just remember that God loves you, and do whatever you have to do to change your life, and learn how to forgive. Learn how to forgive. Start forgiving yourself first.
Boom.
Start forgiving yourself first. And I tell you, when you start there, that's the start of a change in your life. Start to getting where you forgive those who haven't, you think done you wrong. Let it be. Let them go about their business. Don't put yourself in a position where you're going to follow up and run behind them. You know, I remember Oprah Winfrey said something one time. She said, it was this lady who they had fallen out. Mm-hmm. And she said she was in New York and she was walking down the street and she looked across the street and while she was in New York, this lady who she had fallen out with, this is all she was thinking about, because obviously it must have happened while they was there, right? Uh-huh. And she said all she was thinking about the whole time she was there was, man, what happened? And this didn't go well, and you know, we ain't friends, and you know, and
because she wasn't supposed to be in her life.
But check this out. So while Oprah said she was walking, she would happen to be doing some shopping, and she looked across the street and she saw that same lady, and the lady was with somebody else. And they was laughing and joking and having a good time. And she said, she was walking down the street and she said, here she was walking and had this woman on her mind. And she said when she looked over there, she said, ain't no way that woman was thinking about her. So that's when she realized, she said, you know what? I'm going to let that go. And she said from that point on, she said she just forgot about what took place. She forgave the lady. And it was, something was just uplifted from her.
Because she put the lady before her, but then when she realized that she was first, that's where the change comes. You see how she had an emotion and the lady didn't have an emotion?
Right.
She put her first. That's why I talk about putting people before you. You can't put nobody before you. You gotta love yourself. How can you love someone else if you don't love yourself?
Yeah, and that's the other thing that I had to start to realize too. Even with family members, you got to get to a point where, you know something, not all of them are going to see you the way you want them to see you. But you got to be who you are. I'm a good man. I'm a good person. And I got to realize something. For the people that don't like me or don't want to see me succeed, that's okay. I love you anyway. Because guess what? I love me. And I love what I do. And I like helping people. And that's what makes me happy. And that's why, you know something, I come on and do the People to People podcast. That's why I reached out to all these people whose logos you see up here. I reached out to Cookie, who had the good fight, and we got Pretty in Pink, Pretty in Peace that's coming real soon, and some other different programs that's going to be coming. That's going to be so phenomenal going into 2023. I just want everybody to know that God is good. And what we have to do is collectively don't give up. We had some difficulties starting off with the program. People was watching, they couldn't hear us. We didn't know, right? So what did? We regrouped. We get it fixed. But I can promise you this. Let me tell you something. Before it's all over, it's going to be fixed. And when we fix it, that's going to be us loving ourselves.
Amen.
That's us loving ourselves. We're going to fix it one way or the other. It's not, you know, one of the young guy came in today. Mm-hmm. He came in and he said, it's been almost just a little over a year ago since I've been here. He said, the studio wasn't like this. He said, you made some major changes.
He made it so people to people can be up in here.
Come on, man. That's what, you know something, but that just show you. And all the time while I was sitting here panicking, he saw the goodness. He saw the progress.
You don't need to panic. You gotta have a little more patience.
Patience, what'd you say?
A little more patience.
Just have that patience and let that work with us, and so that we move forward.
People think I'm nonchalant. I'm not nonchalant. I've learned to. I'm just cool, Demetria. I'm just cool, Demetria. That's it.
I just love all of what comes to the table. How we be making a difference and just, you know, making it so that we be a blessing to other people. Remember, you know, we going into 2023. Y'all gonna see us trying different things. We got some new projects we working on. I can't wait till it gets to the point where we really able to move on a strong professional level and be able to open the doors for many people coming to tell their story.
We already are. We are. We are, and that's what we can't do. We can't discredit ourselves because we want it transparent to be more. But look at the impact that we already have. Look how God is working. We are. And that's what we have to stop doing too. Is I'm claiming that. This is what I'm doing. I own this. We own this.
Right.
It ain't what we going to do. It is what we are doing. We doing it. Look, that's why we sitting here right now.
Yeah.
That's why God put the good fight and people to people together to partner.
Yeah.
We doing it. We doing it. So yeah.
That's powerful. And that's what I like when you have somebody to get behind you and say, hey, correct that. We are doing it. We're making a difference in the people's lives.
And please take constructive criticism going into 2023. Constructive criticism is not always being negative to you, and we get offensive towards it. Constructive criticism, this is why I am where I am today from constructive criticism. Because I took it, and I said, oh, they realized something in me that I don't realize in myself. And it made me stronger because people see more of me than I've seen in myself. So please be open to constructive criticism. Stop being defensive every time you hear constructive criticism. People are not trying to hurt you. They're trying to help you.
And a lot of times that's what happens in different things. I'm just fooling around. Just you keep
it's okay. So I have one big advice for 2023, and that is taking the shackles off of you. That's been whatever has been holding you down, and facing your truths so that you can move forward in life, and becoming your own lawyer and defeating your case and going before the judge, and you plead your case so much the judge say you free, so you can be free and release yourself from behind bars so that you can enjoy life. And that starts with accepting who you are. You know, we make a lot of decisions because we can't clearly think, and sometimes we can't clearly think because we think things are normalized. But how do we break the shackles of things that we call it generational curses? How do we do things differently that hurt us? Because it's things that I have to live with in life on some of the decisions that I made. But you know what? It was a part of a learning curve in my life. A part of me is like, I'm glad I went through the hurt. I'm glad I went through some of the pain. Not that I would want anyone to go through it, but it made me who I am today, accepting everything about me. Yeah, it may be ugly to you, but it's not ugly to me, because when I was a young child crying out for help, going into my behavior issues, trying to find love, you thought I was just being a bad kid, but I really wasn't a bad kid. I was calling out for help. So you never know what the person, again, next to you is going through. And sometimes we are going through a whole lot. And sometimes the way that we react the way we do is because we don't have nobody to talk to. So we're dealing with stuff alone, and it causes us to do things that we don't realize, that we don't understand it. But I do now, so I accept all of it. So that's how I was able to move on in life, is loving everything all my trials and tribulations. All my trials and tribulations. I can't change my life. Yes, I made a lot of mistakes, but I'm human, and ain't nobody in this world perfect. If you find a perfect person, you show me, because ain't nobody perfect. None of us are perfect, and we make human mistakes, and unfortunately, our childhood traumas affect our adult decisions. But how do you fix that trauma? How do you fix those traumas? Because if you talk about my bad and you know me from then, you don't know me now, because I have changed. You only knew that bad person. So why are you belittling me when you should be embracing me? But guess what? I don't care what you say about me, because I'm already talking about it. People already know, because I have accepted that part of my life, and I'm sharing it with you so that I can help you. Maybe you going through it, and maybe my life experience, maybe Rodney's life experience will help you through those challenges. And again, go to People on YouTube, People to People with Rodney Grimes. Subscribe. Rodney has had some wonderful, wonderful interviews on there. Go to Unfiltered Unspoken on YouTube. We are sharing actual life experiences. We've hit UK and India. So listen to someone's testimony. It may help you. And stop being in denial of your traumas. Stop being in denial. It's going to come back and haunt you.
I love you so much. I appreciate you, Cookie. I appreciate everything that you bring to the table. My mind was just going, and I'm sitting back, and I'm just really thankful that God has blessed you to be able to deal with everything that you've dealt with, and then to come back and be a blessing for so many other people. I just want to tell you that you are like a new superhero in my life.
Thank you.
I appreciate you so much.
You're a superhero too. I've heard your testimonies too. So you don't know how powerful your life experience is to me, and my life experience is powerful to you. We went through two different traumas, but they both affected both of us here. It brings tears to you. Like when me and you talk, it brings tears. I'm like, damn. Yeah. And then you look at me like, damn. You know, so I mean, we're not going to discuss our life experiences tonight, right. But we will be breaking out bits and pieces so we can help you go to another level, because we have been through some things. But I'm a domestic violence survivor, and I'm going to kick this piece. I was brutally beaten and stabbed 6 times. I verbally abused, he verbally abused. My verbal abuse was more of a defense, because I wasn't taking it. But at the end of the day, love can turn into hate. I was in a situation where our love turned into hate, and I almost lost my life taking on somebody's mental traumas, and I made them my issues, which made me mentally unstable, which made me confused to the point I didn't even know who I was. And I attempted suicide. And my 2-year-old at the time, God intervened. She ran in the room, and she kissed me on my foot. Mommy, I love you, and ran out the room as I put 30 Percocets up to my mouth. So I'm not here to kick you no BS. I'm here to tell you that I'm a living testimony, and if I can overcome my traumas, so can you. You can overcome your traumas too. You can overcome your traumas as well. And don't be afraid to face your challenges, because going into 2023, we are going to try to connect with so many folks as we can. We're bringing workshops, we're bringing seminars, we're bringing it all so you get prepared to come to us. And if you're going through those life traumas and you're ready to heal and take those shackles up off of you that you've been dragging on for so long, come on and get on the board. Follow Rodney, follow me. Facebook, Rodney Grimes. People to People with Rodney Grimes and his personal Rodney Grimes. I'm on TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, The Good Fight. There's an E on the end of good. Podcast on YouTube, People to People with Rodney Grimes, Unfiltered Unspoken. And I also have a private group on Facebook. If you're going through things and you want to be more exclusive, we just started it. It's called Unfiltered Unspoken Society of Survivors, because we are creating a society of survivors. You're the victim now, but you don't want to be a victim. You want to come to that survivor side and go through that healing process, so you can be free. 2023, you can think, you can love yourself, you can be the people loving yourself. So we creating a movement.
She said you could be free in 2023.
And how about you start now?
How about that? Okay, hey, we out of here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. This is not our first time, and this is show not our last. We got some things coming up, and we just want to tell you thank you. Again, for everyone who was tuned in earlier, we got a new team coming together. We get ready to make this thing pop. And after a while, y'all gonna be like, man, I remember when they were struggling a little bit, but guess what? The struggle is what makes you strong.
They're gonna be right on the journey with us.
You already know.
God bless you all.